Hello. Welcome, humans, ghosts, germs, anything in between. As you might be able to tell, I'm coming to you from Burbank, California, and the hotel room sofa that definitely does not have a lot of stains on it. I'm joined always by Trevor.
Hello, hello. I am joining. I've joined. I don't know what tense to put that in.
We
Am,
we are all joined. Why don't we say that? It sounds really
we,
gross.
we are all joined together in this internet.
Thanks everyone for being in after our height for the Day of Labor.
Mm-hmm. Where we did not labor.
Good to see everyone back. Hi, Brandy. So, Trevor, why don't you start by telling us what you watched this week?
What did I watch? The Garth says Human Centipede episode. No. Um,
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
what I did watch, which was not bad. I saw Reminiscence finally. Well, not finally. It's been out for like 2 weeks, but
Thoughts?
I didn't think it was as bad as people said. I thought that it was pretty decent. Like the story's very unnecessarily complicated, but like Hugh Jackman's pretty decent. It has some good world building. It was entertaining. I mean, it
Hugh
isn't
Jackman's
great, but
always great.
Hugh Jackman's always great. I mean, he's obsessed over Rebecca Ferguson for the second time in 4 years.
Exactly.
Uh,
All it takes is her singing, and then he falls in love with her.
that's that's just the key. When are we gonna finish that trilogy? We got Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan trilogy of them.
I
Let's
like
get
it.
a trilogy of Hugh Jackman and Rebecca Ferguson.
You've got two
I saw
weeks to get a treatment ready.
I saw him. He's all that.
Oh, really? See, I actually have been waiting. I want to see it because I actually grew up with She's All That. So
I've never seen She's All That.
I don't care how bad its messaging is. I really like that movie. It's not
So
good, but I really
isn't
like watching it.
isn't it like an adaptation of My Fair Lady,
Kind of.
which was an adaptation of The Superior Pygmalion, which you should all watch from 1938.
Yes.
But yeah, no, He's All That was pretty terrible. Down Kissing Booth 3 levels. Uh, let's see. I saw Sweet Girl also on Netflix. It continues the trend of bad Netflix twists. Um,
Interesting. Oh, speaking of
uh,
bad twists, I forgot to mention. So we're working on upgrading the hotel internet. So if there are problems and the show cascades into the burning fire pit of the internet, um, you didn't come here for perfection. So it could
no,
happen.
like we said, we're all joined and we may unjoin. Um, I re-watched Elf because Ed Asner passed away.
Oh, that's a good one to watch. I hadn't seen it. I think maybe I'd seen snippets of it, but I hadn't seen it all the way through until I think my second Christmas with Dan.
It's a lot of fun. I really
It's
like it.
cute.
I watched On Golden Pond for the first time.
Ooh,
Um,
thoughts?
I love that
I'm proud
movie.
of you.
I love that movie. You cannot tell me that Henry Fonda and Katharine Hepburn's characters are not real people. Arthur, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. But no, they are so like real. That's like it's one of the like quite honestly the one of the best on-screen relationships I've ever seen. Like their chemistry is so phenomenal. Like I thought I was
Absolutely.
gonna be so bored and hate it, and I love that movie so much. I watched Worth, the new Netflix film. Do you know what this is?
I do not actually.
So it stars Michael Keaton. He's really good. Um, Amy Ryan and Stanley Tucci are also in it, and they're both phenomenal.
You just
So
said
it's
the key words, Stanley and Tucci.
the Tooch. So it follows the team that was set up to distribute the compensation for the friends and family of 9/11 victims, and like
Oh, wow.
everything that they had to do to set up and try and make all that compensation fair and what the worth of a human life is. It's a really good screenplay. The performances are really good. My only problem with the movie is that it does like absolutely nothing technically. Like it's one of the most bland technical movies I've ever seen. Like with a legal thriller like this, you'd at least expect like some pretty decent editing. But like this movie just does nothing. It's very very bland visually. But the screenplay is really good and there's really good performances. So it's worth your time.
Speaking of, actually, I did forget to mention at the top of the show, partially because I've been running around like a crazy person trying to figure out hotel internet. I do want to make sure that we say that we do definitely acknowledge the significance of today, but I feel like there's a wealth of outlets and programs that are spending a lot of time to focus on that. And I think that there's this show doesn't shy away from something like that, but I think that focusing on the fact that frivolities are a very essential part of society and of emotional regulation and stuff is also important. Plus, I personally don't really want to talk about how it affected me, only because at my post 9/11 military service wasn't all sunshine rainbows, but also, I think that hopefully by this time today, the people that have needed to talk about it for whatever reasons have found the people they can talk to. So we acknowledge it. It's very significant, not just to America, but to global politics. And we're going to talk about dumb movies instead. So just want to make sure people don't think we just ignored the fact that today is a very important day.
Yes. Speaking of dumb movies, I watched The Protege. So
I'm so glad you put us back on track because it's a perfect segue. Ow.
Why? This movie does absolutely nothing that we haven't seen before. Like, yeah, Michael Keaton is awesome. Maggie Q is awesome. Samuel L. Jackson is great. But like, what? Why? What
Can
was
that
the
be your
point?
Letterboxd review for it? Just the why?
Yeah. Like, I don't get it. Like, what has happened to Martin Campbell? Like, he made Casino Royale, which I also watched for the first time this week.
Oh my God.
And then what
Well,
has
he also
happened to
made
him?
Green Lantern, so I mean, it's a high and low.
Yeah. But
I mean,
like,
in the Zorros, like there's so many ups and downs.
yeah. I will say though, High and Low, a really good movie from Akira Kurosawa. Watch that instead of The Protege. So yeah, we can talk about Casino Royale. I just got done watching it like maybe an hour ago.
Mm.
So this is the first James Bond movie I've seen that doesn't star Sean Connery.
This is the first one you've seen without Connery.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Before next week. So I've promised Trevor, I'm going to watch the Kissing Booth trilogy before next show because apparently we need to talk about it.
No, yeah.
But I'm going to give you homework. I would really like for you to please watch Goldeneye. Please watch
Okay.
Goldeneye.
Okay. I do. I'm sorry that you get the bad homework and I get the good homework.
No, well, here, okay. If you want bad homework, I have to watch 3 movies, so I'm going to give you one more. Do you want to watch Roger Moore, Lazen, or my brain's farting? Timothy Dalton. Who do you want to watch?
I'm fine with either. You pick. Dealer's choice.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Okay. Sure. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so the only Bond
Very
movies I've
excited.
seen previously were Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and Goldfinger. The only 3. So I watched Casino Royale. And
Well, this is perfect though because it also has the late Diana Rigg, so
okay.
kind of nice.
Nice. But yeah, no, I really really like Casino Royale. I'm gonna watch through all the Daniel Craig Bonds before No Time to Die.
Oh, by the way,
Um,
Garth, you are totally right. I definitely I definitely have some strong feelings. Uh, I would love to have that conversation someday. See how that shakes out.
all right. I saw Absence of Malice.
I forgot,
Um,
what is that?
so it stars Paul Newman, and it's
Oh,
about
okay.
this guy who's like he's supposedly like committed a crime, and then Sally Field is like a journalist. But then they have this like really weird relationship, and then like he's like fine. I don't know. This movie felt like very sexist, um, but like it's okay. The only thing that I could think the whole time was that if this movie was remade today, Michael Keaton would play the Paul Newman role.
Of
Um,
course you would.
because uh, yeah, like Michael Keaton's. I feel like I'm talking about Michael Keaton nonstop. But
Dan has no problem with that. He's sitting on the other side of a frosted glass barrier between the business area of our suite and the living area and the bed area. So there's lots of frosted glass in this room.
wow,
But he doesn't have a problem with anything Michael Keaton. So he can't even hear you because you're in my headphones, but he knows you're talking about Michael Keaton. It's like how
it's
PLD always knows when people
yeah.
mention Ed Harris.
Or when somebody mentions La La Land, Scott Manson just broke up. Um, I watched Mad Max Fury Road. The movie's perfect.
It is. It so
It's
is.
it's actually perfect. What isn't perfect that I watched right after that when did a double feature Mad Max Fury Road and the new Cinderella.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet, but I really want to watch. I love pain.
Yeah. So I will say, Camila Cabello, or however you pronounce her
I
name,
think it's Camila Cabello.
Camila Cabello. Sure, we'll go with that one. Um, she isn't the worst in it. Like for her first acting role, she isn't terrible. Um, but I'm sorry if you're listening to the show, but I hated the Prince. Pretty
Oh
terrible
yeah,
performance, and everybody is auto tuned so noticeably bad.
that makes me so angry.
It, it's also a jukebox musical, kind of for no reason. I was expecting some original songs, but like, yeah, the movie is painful. All right, just a couple more. I saw Arthur,
Oh
um,
my,
from 1981. Have you seen this one?
I haven't, but I've heard of it.
Starring Dudley Moore. It's basically just Dudley Moore walking around being drunk the whole time. If that sounds entertaining to you, then you know. Uh,
Maybe.
then I saw Reds. Reds is great. This
Hmm.
movie is phenomenal. It was directed by and stars Warren Beatty. Um, he won Best Director for it, I believe.
Hooray!
Um, so yeah, so it's about a American journalist named John Reed, who went to Russia like as the Communist Party was rising during World War One, and then it came back with that information and kind of started that kind of movement in America, contradicting what was going on during World War One. And during that time, like he meets like a one of the first female journalists in America who also like they fall in love and he goes along with her and everything. And the movie does something really cool where so it was made in 19 well it was released in 1981, came out in or was probably made in like 1980, 1979. So just like 60 years after the event. So it was actually kind of structured like a documentary where they were able to get
Hmm.
real people who knew them during the
Oh,
time
I love
and
that.
interviewed them and intercut it. So like it wasn't a documentary; it was still a narrative, but they were actually able to put in interviews with real people who knew them, which I'd never seen done before, and it's really really cool. I will say so. The movie's on HBO Max.
Oh,
I
cool.
will I will say it's a commitment. It's 3.5 hours long.
I don't
Um,
care.
I,
Zack Snyder's
I
Justice League is long. Lawrence of Arabia is long. Um, Oh, I just watched something else that's long. The Aviator is long. Yes, I have mine too. I just didn't bring it to LA because I was so worried something might happen to it.
That's fair. That's fair. I probably wouldn't take mine with me to LA either. But yeah, watch Reds. It's really, really good. And then last thing is I saw Underwater.
Oh,
That
really?
Kristen Stewart sci-fi thing that
I
came
meant to
out
watch
last
it and it
year.
just kind of passed by me. Was it actually good?
It's okay. It's
Okay.
it's fine. I mean, it's, if you know the premise, it's exactly what you would expect. You know exactly what you're getting into. You don't get anything more, you don't get anything less. If you're into that type of genre, those types of films, you'll like it. If you're not gonna like it. It's very just,
Fair.
it lays it out for you and you can take it or leave it. I thought it was okay, but if you like sci-fi horror type stuff, probably like it. And that is what I watched the past 2 weeks because we didn't have a show. I also watched Shang-Chi. What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, before we get right into that,
Mm,
I think we should tell people about our goal for this episode. We're just going to keep it very relaxed, especially after the cats related generosity. We're just going to set a $25 goal today for a new game that Dan actually created. It's called Has Dan Seen This? And Trevor, because he is a smidge younger than Dan, grew up with very different movies. And so he's going to ask Dan if he has seen a movie from his own childhood. As we've discussed, it doesn't have to be a good movie, just a movie from his childhood. Because even us, like, Dan, just a very microscopic amount older than I am, but we grew up even with slightly different movies. Not all of them are good either. So, but I'm very curious to see. I will also interject whether or not I've seen them, even though no one asked. Uh, One other thing, I just want to show off my tiny baby ring light. Look at how
it's
tiny it is. It's
it's
like
very
having a little
cute.
arc reactor. Isn't it
It's
cute? Okay, I'm
um
done.
uh oh yes, so Garth, so it's Shang-Chi, right? That's how you pronounce it. Shang-Chi.
Yeah,
And
it's not an Americanized A sound.
right, yes. And I knew that and I was gonna say it right. Yes,
That's
Shang-Chi.
okay.
Um so what are your thoughts on Shang-Chi?
I liked it. I felt like it kind of suffered a little bit from Marvelitis. In the sense that like I wanted it to be more. I felt like Dan actually said it obviously much more articulately in his review. I wanted it to like look more distinct, like especially a movie that is like steeping into a specific culture, not just a an established IP. Like for example, Thor Ragnarok stands out not just because it has a very different like tempo of a Marvel movie, but it is so visually distinctively different, and I felt like they had the opportunity to have it feel a bit more unique in terms of like its aesthetic and stuff like that. But overall, though, I I really liked it. I thought that I'm not a how do I say this? I'm not a huge sorry, my phone is not on silent, and I thought it was. Uh, oh God, sorry, my brain is
I'm
melting.
not a
Oh,
huge
what's her name? Aquafina. I
Aquafina.
couldn't
Okay.
remember if she had a real name or not. I know she does, but I don't know what it is. I'm not the biggest fan of her because I feel like she can get a little one note. I loved her in The Farewell because she got to do something, like she had to do something, period.
Yeah,
But I
I
thought she
love
was
her well.
fine. But I loved the action. I thought that having that many experienced action people, not like just their primary actors, but like background extras and stuff in these fights, like you could tell that they had fight choreography that was supposed to look real, that required talent and practice. And I love great fight choreography. So on that note, I think it's the best MCU movie, probably the best overall Marvel movie as far as like fight choreography, execution, and the cinematography of those fights themselves.
Yes, I will say with the fight scenes, I did have some issues with the editing. I would have liked for them to be very like flowing and just let us experience like the weight of the fights. rather than I know I felt like there were so many unnecessary edits in there where like it was just like cut to like in I think they thought that they were enhancing the action, but I think it would have played better if we just saw the action as it was.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I did really like this movie. I agree on Aquafina. Like I felt like she was kind of irrelevant to the movie. Like I don't know. Um, uh, but what did work? Yes, the fight choreography worked. I really like Simu Liu, but I will say
Mm.
Tony Leung, top tier MCU villain.
Oh yeah.
I
I
would
love the
place him.
complexity of that. The
I,
Without going into like a deep spoiler, I like the idea
right.
that his motivation for what he was doing came from a good place of what's inside of you instead of an evil place of what's inside of you.
He a good comic book movie is typically only as good as this villain. Like we've seen this play out so many times. And that's where even though I have problems with Shang-Chi, like the villain like just that motivation works so well because it actually gives a solid force for our protagonist to go up against.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like Ant-Man and the Wasp. That movie is entertaining, but I couldn't care less about the villains. That was part of my problem with Black Widow. It has one of the weakest villains in the MCU. So what works so well with this? Like the villain, yes. And now, okay, so not getting into too many spoilers, but I think I won't even say anything. I don't want to um accidentally like insinuate something for people who haven't seen it. But I will say that without spoilers, the final fight is just a mess of CGI.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this: there is um, a creature design of the
Mhm,
film that I loved a lot, alluding to one of the things you're talking about. But there's
mhm.
also a many creatures design that I did not like at all.
Yeah, it yeah, I'll say some of my more spoilery thoughts next week
I think that's
because
about the right amount of time.
I I think I'm trying not to say anything, but yeah, I liked it. I liked it for the most part, but have some minor issues. I will say I'm just going to do a shameless plug on my YouTube channel. I just did a ranking of all the MCU movies, so you can see that Trevor Matteson talks movies.
Ooh,
Boom, shameless plug out of the way. Uh,
that's not that. There's you. It should be completely and totally pluggable. So I like it.
we did get a Streamlab come in.
Oh, thank you for paying attention.
It is from Kennepat. He said it's
Oh,
Kenny, woohoo, go for it, play a game. Donated $25. So
alrighty.
should we bring Mr. Dan Merlin?
Hold on. I'm going to mute myself for a second. You can.
All right.
You've got the reins.
I've got the reins. I see 123 Narnia say no, it doesn't. Black Widow. This villain made me more scared than Thanos or anything. A woman's worst nightmare on display. That's very fair. I it personally didn't work for me, but I can definitely get that point of view. Um, and I think like it could work like that. And I think that's what they were going for. Just me personally, I would have liked to see them dive more into those ideas. It felt like they just kind of brushed over that. But it is a solid point of view. Hi, Dan.
Hello.
Uh, that scared me.
Oh, I want to do that now. I'm going to load up a bunch of really scary pictures and I'm going to randomly put them on the screen now.
that's that's not gonna be fun. Okay, that one isn't scary. That one's just disturbing.
Maybe not to you.
I think that thing's scary. Although Coco Melon is one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
I have abstained from watching.
Good. I want you to stay pure.
It's a good idea. Don't.
Yeah. I should probably watch like the Human Centipede before I watch Coco Melon.
No.
No,
Um,
don't do that either.
All right. And
I'm ready.
do you want to hear what I watched this child?
Yes, let's see if I. So this is a
Let's
game
see
called
if
Has Dan Seen It?
this?
Da, 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 da. So I will say that there are two things to put out there that I know you've probably seen. Thank you, Garth. So the Cars franchise and Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron were two staples in my childhood.
Okay, I have seen the Cars franchise.
Vroom vroom.
I have not seen Spirit
Spilliot.
Spilliot.
Really?
I have not seen, nor can I say, Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. That is
Interesting.
one that was not a staple.
It's maybe it's the nostalgia speaking. I think it's pretty good. I like it.
I've heard good
Okay.
things.
Interesting. All right. There's a new one that came out.
Yep.
Okay, that one's pretty awful. Stay as
okay.
far away from that movie as possible.
Fair enough.
But the original one is good. I don't know. It's like the 3D animation just like completely sucked like any kind of art that was in the original 2D animation. That kind of made the story work.
Fair enough.
I would like the score is phenomenal. I think it's a Hans Zimmer score. But then there's a really terrible soundtrack to accompany it. That kind of ruins the score.
Well, that's a bummer.
First up, we have Dolphin Tale and Dolphin Tale 2.
No.
But you know what you have seen is Free Willy.
I've
I know
seen
you've
Free
seen
Willy,
that. That's
yeah.
our version of Dolphin Tale.
Yeah, I saw my generation's version, which was called Free Willy. I have not
Different
seen
creature,
Dolphin
but-
Tale, nor did I jump into the franchise midway through with Dolphin Tale 2. Are those
Dolphin
live
Tale
action?
2? Yeah, Dolphin Tale 2, forgettable. I
Okay.
would skip it. Dolphin Tale was a film that myself and my sister were obsessed with as young children when I was
Really?
like it came out in 2011, so I would have been 6. My sister would have been like 3 when it came out.
Okay.
Solid obsession. You could there was a live cam in Florida of like you could watch the dolphin. We watched that movie probably over 100 times.
All right. So far we are yes on the Cars franchise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We are no on Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, and we are no on Dolphin Tale and Dolphin Tale 2.
These ones I would be shocked if you've heard of. They are called A Turtle's Tale, Sammy's Adventures, and A Turtle's Tale 2, Sammy's Escape from Paradise.
You're making this up.
I was gonna say that's.
Are these movies?
These are feature-length animated feature films.
A Turtle's Tale? Are these all, by the way, animal related? Well, I guess it makes sense though.
First two, but a lot. Actually, wait, how many of these are? Okay, there's a lot of animal related movies in here.
So the answer is no. You're correct in that I've never seen, nor have I. Were these direct to video movies?
I don't know. Yuri Lowenthal and Gemma Arterton are the featured cast. Tim Curry's a voice in it. John Hurt's a voice in it.
Okay. I like Tim Curry.
So
I struggle to say Gemma
Arterton.
Nope.
Yeah.
Try again. You said it right the other day.
I did.
Oh, Melanie
Gemma.
Griffith is in this. Melanie Griffith.
Okay. Gemma Arterton.
Yes. One more time. Come on, you can do it.
Gemma Arterton. Gemma Arterton. Gemma Arterton. I got it that time.
You did, I know. Wait, what's the other thing
job.
you can't say?
Anna Karenina.
Anna Karenina.
Anna Karenina.
No, 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 no.
Anna
No, no.
Anna
No, no, no.
Anna
No, no.
Karenina.
I'm sorry, I'm so mean. I'm not really a bully. It's just he's so much bigger than I am. I have to fight back with my words.
So, Dan, I researched it. This was theatrically released in Belgium. Everywhere else, direct.
Oh, I am behind on my Belgian cinema.
Well, no, I
Yeah.
mean, you helped me watch Time Cop for Inner Geekdom. It's got
Yeah.
the muscles from Brussels.
That's true.
I've never heard that. Why have I never heard that?
Oh yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme is the muscles from Brussels.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So these are. It's basically a Finding Nemo ripoff, but it isn't that bad. Like from what I remember, it takes place in. It starts out in 1959. And then it's about this turtle who like goes into the water, but then like as global warming and like pollution starts to set in, he gets like lost, and then it follows 50 years of his life up until the modern day, which was then 2010. And then it's just like about the turtle's life, and then they made a sequel, which kind of made no sense. But yeah, first one's like it's not good, but like childhood. Okay. Then there was Misty, based on the book Misty of Chincoteague.
I'm serious. He's making up almost all of these.
Misty.
Yes.
Yeah, drawing a big blank on Misty. What was it? I've never heard of the book either, to be fair. What was Misty about?
So it's a 1961 family drama. It's about an orphaned brother and sister who grow to love a wild pony on the island of Chincoteague off the Virginia coast.
A pony.
Yes, darling, a pony.
Okay. Yeah. So this was a book that we grew up with, and then we watched the movie in a hotel, and I've mostly forgotten it, but I remember the book, and I know that I've seen the movie, so I'm gonna count.
Okay. That I am not. No, not so much.
All right. That one. All right. So far, drawing blanks. So, Dan, I know that
the Cars.
That's true. That's true. So I'm sure you've seen Air Bud, right?
More or less.
Okay. Well, we're gonna But have you seen
yes or no answer has somehow become more or less.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Air Buddies movies?
No.
Is it about puppies?
I have not seen the Air Buddies movies. No.
So I believe in the soccer Air Bud film, he gets with a girl dog, and she has puppies. So
puppies.
They made a series of Air Buddies. And it's about the puppies. And then there was a spin-off of that, but I'll get into that later. So
wait. Can I just guess? Is the spin-off about guinea pigs?
No.
That's a different movie. That's G-Force.
Which is also on this list. Have you seen G-Force?
I don't know what that is.
I haven't seen it, but I know G-Force is about like an elite force of guinea pigs. I'm not.
Oh my God.
There's a movie called G-Force, and it is about an elite force of guinea pigs.
All right, then I take it back. I want the Air Buddies spin-off to be about ferrets.
It's also
the weirdest, grossest animal on planet Earth.
No, G-Force is a Disney movie. It's 2009, and yeah, it's about an elite spy. It's basically Mission Impossible, but guinea pigs. And then there's a mole that's like 13 liter.
Yes, I know of G-Force. I have not seen it.
Wow.
But at least I've heard of it. So the films:
Air
Buddies, Snow Buddies, Space Buddies, Santa Buddies, Spooky Buddies, Treasure Buddies, and Super Buddies.
Spooky Buddies? That might have to go on the 31 Days of Halloween list. We can consider a recommendation for Trevor.
They turn dogs into stones. It's
I don't
scary.
like that.
Oh, they did that already. Ernest did that when I was a kid. It was wood, but it's the same general principle. Yeah.
But then there's the spin-off of that. So you may have mentioned I mentioned, you didn't say anything. Snow Buddies.
I've heard of Snow Buddies at least.
There's like Santa. Garth's right, Nick Cage is in G-Force.
Oh yeah. That might be one of the reasons I'm familiar with it.
So you're telling me Nick Cage is the guinea pig?
I think he's
No, I think he's himself, isn't he?
Dang it, I really wanted him to be a guinea pig.
I gotta see the cast of G-Force. No, Nicolas Cage. His name is Speckles, and he's a mole. But listen to the cast of this. There's Penelope Cruz, who, by the way, just won the Volpe Cup for Best Actress at Venice Film Festival.
Oh,
Parallel Mothers. Very, very excited for that movie from Pedro Almodovar. Pain and Glory was great. Super excited for. Anyways,
you
Penelope
are
Cruz.
truly the future of the film fandom, Trevor. Just know that. Continue.
Zach Galifianakis is in it, and he's great. Sam Rockwell's in this. Jon Favreau is in this. Will Arnett is in this. Steve Buscemi is in this. Bill Nighy is in this.
Everyone's in this?
Wow, that is a lot.
And it's so you know that scene in Mitchell's vs. the Machines where like all of like the microwaves come alive and stuff.
Mhm.
That's the plot of G-Force. It's
Okay.
about all of these appliances who have this
So it's like
chip
Maximum
inside of them
Overdrive?
that
Yes.
come alive, and then this Mission Impossible team of guinea pigs, aka Sam Rockwell, Zach Galifianakis, Penelope Cruz, and Jon Favreau, all have to like fight them, led by Nicolas Cage, and then the villain, I believe, is Will Arnett.
Wow.
So it's the Trevor's Generation version of Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
I have heard of that movie. There is wait, was that directed by Stephen King?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's the
it
only
was.
Stephen
The
King
only
movie directed by
he's ever
Stephen King.
directed.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought. So back to Snow Buddies. They go on an Alaskan adventure. They meet Santa, but then they meet this dog named Santa Paws, who is the dog version of Santa. Sorry, I couldn't say that with a straight face.
Does he put milk bones in their stockings?
He's the Santa for puppies. He travels along with Santa, and then he gives stuff to all the dogs. Whereas the cat Santa, the questions that need to be answered.
All
but
cats are Jewish. Trevor, didn't you know that?
That's true.
That's okay. We'll go with it. I can accept that.
Parakeets are agnostic,
Yeah.
and but not cockatiels. Strangely.
Yeah.
Oh, Garth is right. Steve Buscemi is a golden hamster mistakenly called a ferret.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
But there's a spin-off series about Santa Paws. And it
course
is
there
about
is.
Santa Paws. They're called The Search for Santa Paws and Santa Paws 2, The Santa Pups, where there are Santa Pups. So I'm waiting for the spin-off about the Santa Pups.
Oh my
So
god.
that would be a spin-off of a spin-off
Of a
spin-off.
spin-off. And then
Yes.
possibly of a spin-off.
Wow.
This is a web
This
of
is a
weird...
tangled web of Airbud spin-offs I didn't even realize existed.
My-
This is what it was like
Alright.
watching television in the 1970s, Trevor.
You know what?
Your favorite show was a spin-off of 3 different shows you didn't even know
I
about.
feel like I've just taken the red pill
All right.
about kids' movies.
About kids.
All right,
movies.
let's keep going. We have Underdogs from 2013. Have you heard of this?
Underdogs. I know the movie
Underdog. I know.
that Jason Lee was in, but I don't think I
Oh.
know the movie Underdogs.
I think this is technically the first foreign film I ever watched.
Okay.
It is an Argentinian animated film.
Ooh.
I will say, watch the movie with subtitles. Do not watch the dubs. The dubs are pretty terrible. Watch it.
Oh,
with
you're a sub over dub guy.
I watch any movie with subtitles. I love.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I watch every movie with
I
subtitles.
mean, the only thing that I ever ask about is like Miyazaki movies because I've heard that it's okay both ways. But
Well, they hire like good voice talent.
yeah. Well, we also watched Demon Slayer dubbed.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against watching
The only
it subbed.
reason why to be fair, the only reason why we watched that dubbed was because I was doing some form of epic baking, and because I have to turn so much, like the island faces the open concept living area, but the stove, like the oven and the stove, what?
The open concept living area.
It is. Sorry. Anyways, but the oven and the stove and like my big stand mixer and my food processor are all on the back wall of the kitchen, so I
Yes.
wouldn't be able to read the subtitles. So since I was moving around, I asked him if we could watch the dubbed version, just so that way I could hear every single thing that happened and I wouldn't need to be staring at the TV the whole time.
Yeah.
So we would have probably watched the subtitles.
Probably, but yeah.
I will say Garth is absolutely right. Super Buddies. After acquiring rings that grant them superpowers, the buddies must use them to stop a villainous alien dictator.
Oh
So it's
my.
the Avengers
Deserve-
Endgame of Super Buddies, of Air Buddies movies.
It
my
deserves a spot in Inner Geekdom, and yeah.
Oh, please no. I'll ask for just about anything in Inner Geekdom. I want James Bond put back in. I want some like really good comic book movies
Godzilla
put in. I want MonsterVerse put
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Not that though.
Put Ghibli in IG. Let's do
Oh,
it.
I would totally do that. I would slay.
But
No, you know what? They would never
Undertale.
do that because I'm the only one that would actually be good at it. So they'd never do that.
Hey, Parker would
Well, then
probably be
everyone
good
would
at it.
watch them.
One of the fan leagues that Parker was in had Studio Ghibli as a category for a while, so I'm sure Parker has.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Ghibli.
What were you saying?
I was saying that, but it would get more people to watch them, which is a good thing.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
That's true. So Underdogs. Its original title is Mythical. So I will say the American voice cast is stacked, but it's bad. It's Ariana Grande, Nicholas Hoult. Maybe it's not stacked. Shawn Mendes, Bella Thorne. Yeah, it's definitely not stacked. Mel Brooks is
Hey,
in it,
don't
though.
you knock Bella Thorne. Leave her alone.
I will say Eugenio Derbez is in the English voice cast, who is the teacher in Coda, and he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he
He's
deserves
like
Yeah.
the
a
number
great
one
actor.
comedy star in Mexico.
I know.
Huge.
Yeah, he's massive. I looked through his filmography; like he's everything. He's the Grinch. So it's about these foosball players. All right, they're on a foosball table and they come alive. Okay, and then they play
No.
real soccer games and they win. Spoilers.
How did this get on your radar?
hold
Just out
on.
of curiosity.
We might have to have an adult movie night where we just drink a lot of alcohol and watch that movie.
Is that like the Netflix effect? Like how did
It's
this
on
movie?
Netflix.
Okay,
It's funny
see
though, because
that's
when he
the
said
difference.
foosball players, I thought he
But-
meant the people playing
Oh,
foosball,
I
not
see.
the
No,
foosball
actual
players.
Foosball players.
But
No.
well, I would hope that they would already be alive. So I actually watched this movie before we had Netflix. I found it. We rented it from Family Video because I really liked soccer and it was hard to find soccer movies. So we found this and I really like it.
Wow.
So I haven't watched it since 2013. So maybe that might be.
You had a good family video. My local video store growing up didn't stock a whole lot of Argentinian animation.
Hey, you know, I've got it made. So
That's the slogan of Trevor today.
I've got it made.
I've got it made.
let's see. You can stop me whenever. National Velvet. You might have seen this one.
The older version?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I know of it. I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Ooh, I've got
Almost.
one I know neither one of you have seen, I bet.
Okay.
The Shaggy Dog.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah. I have
It's
seen it.
the old
Like the
one.
Tim Allen one or the Fred McMurray
No, the
one?
Fred McMurray one.
Yeah, I've seen the
1971,
Shaggy
I
Dog.
right?
swear we talked about this before, and you said you hadn't seen it.
No,
'cause I
there's a
wanted to
lot of
watch
Disney
it.
movies I haven't seen, but the Shaggy Dog. I've
Okay,
seen.
good.
Yeah.
The movie's awesome.
Yeah, I've seen
The
it.
Tim Allen one has the most terrifying poster of all time.
I don't
Yeah.
It's horrific.
want to talk
We'll look,
about
we'll look it up someday.
But National Velvet. So this is a 1944 film, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way. We own it on DVD. And so it was really like Elizabeth Taylor's breakthrough, I would say.
Young Liz
It
Taylor,
also
yeah.
features Mickey Rooney and Angela Lansbury in supporting roles.
Is Mickey
this movie
Rooney
is very
playing an appropriate character?
No, well, I mean,
No.
Mickey Rooney's weird because Mickey Rooney was like a child star and then he was old. And there's like no in between.
Gotcha.
I will say, if you want to learn more about this movie and the making of it, go listen to You Must Remember This. It's a phenomenal podcast by Karina Longworth, who is actually, I believe, the wife of Ryan Johnson.
Yes.
It's a amazingly produced podcast. I listen to it all the time. So there's some really cool stuff in there. It's been going on since like 2014. And
That's what I aspire for all my movies to be someday.
Yeah.
To be
Oh.
mentioned in the same breath as a podcast like You Must Remember This.
I've already mentioned it in the same breath to you. But Brandy loves that podcast. Yes, thank you. It's amazing. But yeah, National Velvet, great movie. The Planes franchise.
I know of it because I know that most people thought that it was part of the Pixar verse when it is indeed not.
So there's Planes, and then there's Planes, Fire and Rescue.
Yes, those I've heard of. I remember when they came out, people thought that it was like a spinoff of Cars because it kind of looked the same, but it wasn't.
Yeah, and it's Dane Cook. I will say, have you seen the mock trailer for X-Wings?
No.
So
homework for next week.
The tagline of it is, from the studio that brought you Cars, Planes, Boats, and Trains, X-Wings. It's amazing. It's this 2-minute mock trailer. And it's, now that Disney bought Star Wars, we're going to get an anamorphic X-Wing movie. And I would watch it. All right.
So to you, Dane Cook is the guy from the Planes movie.
Yeah, I've never seen him in anything else.
Wow. Keep it that way.
You see him in a completely different context from so many others.
Cool. Max, have you heard of this movie?
Max
from 2015. Not the
is
other.
Is that a dog movie?
It is. Not Mad Max from 2015. Max.
I don't think I know Max.
Isn't it wasn't he like a service member's dog or something? Wasn't that it?
Oh, that movie.
Yeah, because I told you I didn't want to watch it because I was 99% sure the dog was going to die. So I was like, I'm not watching it.
I remember that movie coming out now that you mentioned it. Yes.
What I do remember, this movie is rated PG. It traumatized 10-year-old me. This movie was very scary to 10-year-old me. I saw it in the theater. Was not a pleasant experience. I found out recently that they made a sequel that I've never seen. That's much more lighthearted. So it's just about the service member, the guy gets killed in Afghanistan, so then the dog is sent back to his family. But then there's I don't know, some people come after them, and I remember there being lots of explosions and people dying. So, but it was in my childhood.
There you go. All right, why don't you throw 3 more at me?
Sounds good. Everybody's Hero.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
a big nope. Robert Parker knows what this is.
Probably. Because he's like 3 years older than you are.
He's the next youngest person I know besides you. So,
just in general.
Yes, in general, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't have younger siblings, and Dan doesn't have any siblings, and we usually find that appropriate constructive to hang out with a lot of young people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not at the bars anymore. And
ew.
What? That's I did not when I was 31 and there was 23-year-olds in the bar and I'm 31 and you beat people. It's we're at home.
I just meant why would you expect to find someone Trevor's age in a bar?
Well, not someone Trevor's age, someone Parker's age.
Well, Parker was
Trevor's age. No one Trevor's age should be in a bar.
Parker was barely 21 when you met him.
Well, he showed me magic, and we were in a bar, so
Oh, that's so true. It was his birthday, and he kept coming up to me because I had to sit in the corner because health issues, and so I couldn't really be up and walking around. And Dan keeps coming over to me, progressively more intoxicated, saying, "Oh, Parker, he showed me a magic trick. He made some card come out of his butt, or whatever it was."
Whatever it was. Yeah.
So transitioning back to Everybody's Hero. So this is 2006.
That's a masterpiece.
2006.
It was directed by Christopher Reeve, and I think the last thing he ever did.
Okay.
Before he passed away. So it is an animated baseball movie about this kid, and he follows. I think he takes this baseball bat and this baseball that are alive. I think. And then he goes to the 1932 World Series game.
You know what? I think I remember seeing this movie, not seeing it, but hearing about it because it was when Robin Williams was on the wheel.
Oh.
I think I remember looking it up because I had to determine if it was eligible, and that's sounding vaguely familiar. I think he may have had a small part in it.
Yeah, because it also stars like William H. Macy, Whoopi Goldberg, Brian Dennehy,
Whoopi
Rob
Goldberg.
Reiner.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a fun movie. I have fond memories. It's on Disney Plus. 2 more.
Everybody's hero.
Free Birds.
Bird, like Leonard's. Woo, Free Bird. No.
What was that you cut out?
What was it like Leonard Skinner, like Freebird, like
Oh, I doubt it. Owen Wilson's in this though.
Plural.
Freebirds. Okay.
So Owen Wilson's cool. Woody Harrelson's in it. Surprisingly, no wig. Amy Poehler's also in it. George Takei is in it. Star Trek fame. Jimmy Hayward. Dan Fogler.
Birds. Sorry.
So it's basically about these turkeys, and they live in 1620, right before the first Thanksgiving. So it's about them running away from Kroger, and they're trying not to get cooked. And Owen Wilson's a bird.
That's dark.
All right, that's it. I think Whit may have brought that up.
Maybe
that sounds
somebody
like
brought that up. Was like, hey, did you ever hear about this movie? It's got all these people in it, and we're like, what? That doesn't exist. That sounds familiar. Somebody brought that up at some point in some dungeon, something or other that we were doing.
You know what I need? I need a Wes Anderson stop motion remake of this with Owen Wilson reprising his role.
Oh wow, yeah. Wow.
Anyways, it's on Amazon Prime if you want to watch it. It's also free on YouTube. I think.
Got a waddle.
Say that again, please.
I'm a turkey. Sorry.
Last one, and then I'll have enough to do this again, which will be fun.
Wonderful. Next time we're doing it the other way. I'm going to see how many things that I watched you've seen or heard of.
Okay.
And the shoe's going to be on the other foot, Pally. All right.
Is that a phrase?
It is to old people like me.
Fair enough.
Wow, that's the cat's pajamas.
Last one. Dan, so I'm sure you've heard of High School Musical, right?
Of course I've heard of it.
All 3 of them?
Yes.
He's
Plus
heard of them.
the new series that's out. High School Musical,
the musical, the series, yes.
Yes, that launched Olivia Rodrigo's career.
But yes, I've heard of it.
Have you heard of the 2011 spin-off about Ashley Tisdale's popular character Sharpay? Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure.
No.
No.
So on Disney Plus.
The dog?
Sharpay.
No, it's the girl.
Her name is Sharpay?
Yeah.
But it's a dog.
She was the blonde girl from the High School Musical movies.
Okay.
She was like, she does acting, but then Troy and Gabriella take the parts from her and her brother, who are going to be a weird, romantic relationship. I kind of have problems with their portrayal. Anyways, she's like this glamorous actress, and she has a bunch of rich parents, and then they go to her hotel resort or whatever in the second one, which takes place in the summer. And then and then she's Troy kind of cheats on Gabriella with her, and it's a big thing, right? But there's the spin-off.
Okay.
About her. And it's about her she's trying to make it as an actress after graduating high school, I think in New York City. And then she tries to do Broadway stuff, but then things go wrong, and she has a dog named Countess, and it's problems, but then everything's happy in the end because it's Disney.
Yay!
Dan, would you like to guess what this movie has on Rotten Tomatoes?
I'm gonna say 23%.
Mara, would you like to guess what this movie has on Rotten Tomatoes?
9.
This is a certified fresh film of 60%. I don't think that's certified fresh, but it's definitely fresh at 60%.
Wow. Right on that border
I am
there.
very surprised.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna watch it and give it a bad review, and I'll flip it over to 59.
You have that power.
I would never. What if I did that? What if I went out there and tried to
found
find
every
all
movie
movies
on
that
the
were at
cusp,
60%
and
and
then
just gave them a bad review and just tried to flip as many movies as I could, or
So
found
all
some
of
that were
the
at 59%
Yeah.
and gave them a good review and then flip them up to 60.
Oh,
There's
I
a
feel like
book-
we should at least compile a list of what all those movies would be,
Right?
and then we can decide
Yeah.
whether or not we want to ruin the
I
system.
think there's a
Right.
book about that. I think Mark Ellis mentioned it on his podcast, that Rotten Tomatoes is wrong thing. I think he mentioned
Uh-huh.
it. Oh, Garth says, how much to request a game?
Ooh.
Is he
It's anything
referring to the
request a game.
Letterboxd movie
Yeah.
game, I would assume?
I think he wants to have you play a game.
Or are
Or
we
just
being
any
requested to play a game?
Yeah, I don't know what
We
game.
could play the world's most boring, complicated game of tic-tac-toe via video chat.
Okay, I do that. I do that.
Oh, Letterboxd
Yeah,
game.
Letterboxd.
Dan, do you have a round or two of Letterboxd in you?
Let's do one. Let's do
Okay.
one round of Letterboxd.
All right. Well, here,
Should
Trevor
we
gets to
pull
do
from
one
Garth?
from the
Should
document,
we pull from
and I can do one
Garth?
from my phone.
Should we pull from Garth's Garth's
I've
account?
got one pulled up already.
From Garth?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Dan. Now, I'm
can just do
omitting
this.
certain words just
Okay.
to make sure that it doesn't totally give it away.
Okay.
All right. This is a 2-star review.
Mm.
This one wasn't for me. It had some fun moments, mostly the humor from a certain character, but too much CGI. I think more practical fight scenes and real blood effects instead of CGI blood spurts would have improved this movie. Let me see. The new character was dull and the actor was bad. Not a good focus for the whole movie. At the end, it was silly that an undead scorpion tells this boring hero that he has to carry on their bloodline, but he says it in Japanese, which the idiot clearly does not understand a word what he said. Ugh.
I have ideas, but Ken put out a great reference. Would you like to play a game? Love war games. I love war games too.
Undead scorpion. Humor.
I'm
New
I'm going to
character.
quote
The sequel.
JTE. Kubo and the 2 strings. 3 strings, 2 strings. 3 strings? Gonna go with that. It's wrong, but I'm gonna go with it.
Scorpion. The new character.
What? Do you want me to give you a clue?
Humor.
I'm gonna steal answers from the chat.
Sure.
This is a movie made in this decade.
The 2020s?
So
It
Ken
would
is-
be this one,
Ken
yeah.
is wrong.
I was going to say Mortal Kombat. Is it Mortal Kombat?
It is Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Mortal Kombat.
I was about to say you didn't say it right.
There's not a single good movie in that franchise.
Woo!
They're all like 1-star or half-star movies.
Wow. Look at that.
And I have
I
seen
did
them.
it.
Yes, you did do it.
Well done, Dan.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to give you back to Mara as I continue to prep for my
Okay,
match.
hold on. Can I give you one more?
Yes.
One more? Okay.
Yes.
Again, I have to kind of edit these a bit.
Dan will not be prepped.
Yeah. I saw it when it came out in theaters when I was a 9-year-old kid. I loved it and saw it a dozen times. One time I went with a legally blind friend and I whispered what was happening on screen to him for the whole movie.
Aw.
Even he recoiled when something big happened from the bright light and the loud sound. It was wonderful to see him enjoy the movie so much, even with only seeing it. I know that some of the other movies in this franchise are usually rated higher for people, but not for me. My memories will always keep this as my number one movie in this franchise.
Okay, I have a guess.
Okay.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh. No.
Okay, I think I know
Return
how
of
old
the Jedi.
Garth is.
No. Star Wars. 1977.
Which
Star
of the
Wars.
three is it, Dan?
1977 Star Wars.
Return of the Jedi.
Star Wars 1977.
It is Star Wars 1977.
Yeah.
Bravo, Dan.
Thank you.
What year did Holy Grail come out? Was I kind of close
75.
to the year? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was
You were close to the year.
relatively close to the year. Got it. That makes sense though. 77 Star Wars.
All right. I'm able to read Garth's reviews pretty accurately.
Well,
Yeah.
apparently you guys are connected with some sort of invisible twine.
I guess so. It's because we have similar last names. All right.
But
Trevor,
yeah,
I'm going to start compiling a list of things that I watched, and then we're going to do this the other way around. Actually, you're probably going to know a lot more of my stuff because you're much more forward-thinking than I am. But we'll see.
I'm going to study.
Thank you, Dan.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan.
All right. Go back to the other side of the frosted glass.
I'm going to go to the other side of the glass and continue
Go
watching
back to the dungeon, Dan.
movie that I am currently watching. Whoa! As I slip.
As he slips. Okay. Hello.
Before we get out of here, should we talk about some news quick?
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit of movie news, and then I think we might keep this a little shorter than usual, everybody. Trevor had a long day, and I'm still feeling a little under the weather from my booster and also the jet lag. But yeah, so which one do you want to start with?
Well, I would like to start with Garth's proposition. Dan and I, as a team, could be called the Mermen.
Oh, I like that.
I really like that.
That is cool.
All right, let's talk about the Matrix Resurrections trailer.
Thank you, Brandy.
Thoughts on the trailer for Matrix Resurrections?
So, let me put it this way. A lot of it feels very similar to the first film. But I just gotta say, looking at it, I will go in with a totally open mind because I've seen plenty of trailers where I was just like, oh, like Birds of Prey. I saw that trailer and I was just like, I am gonna hate the movie. And I was, oh God, it's like delightfully engaging for me. I really, really, really like this movie. But watching the Matrix trailer makes me really worried that I'm gonna be the only person that hates that movie.
Well, I'm also worried that I'm going to hate it. This feels Star Wars Force Awakens-y in all the wrong ways.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's a great way to say that.
Yeah, because there are great parts of Star Wars Force Awakens, but like it just feels like it's going to be a retread of the original film while thinking that it's original.
Yeah.
Which I think could be really bad. I mean, it looks great visually. I always like to talk about the Oscars. So I think that this is probably getting in for visual effects and sound off of the trailer. So I will be so mad if A Quiet Place Part 2 gets snubbed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you completely, but it might.
One thing that the original Matrix got that this movie definitely won't get is editing, but but yeah, no, this trailer was just fine. My favorite YouTube comment from the trailer is, "I'm calling it now. Somebody's gonna steal his rubber duck, and then it's gonna go down."
Oh, I love that. That was actually like the coolest part in there. I was just like, oh, it's on his head.
Agreed. But yeah, trailer's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
A trailer that I liked though was Don't Look Up. Or did you get a chance to see this trailer?
I did. I watched all the trailers that we said we were going to talk about. I'm very interested because I love his style. So yeah. I'm very curious.
I love Adam McKay's movies. I will particularly. I haven't seen Anchorman. But I like his more, his recent stuff, his Oscar contending stuff. I love The Big Short. I love Vice. So I'm really excited for this one. I hope that this movie doesn't become too Armageddon-y.
Yeah.
And, like, go to space and like try and like, fight the asteroid or whatever, which we got a shot of in the trailer. I just wanted to focus on the ensemble of Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, and Jonah Hill, because Jonah Hill is awesome. I love Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill is a perfect actor. Fight me. Meryl Streep as the president is something.
You're taller than I am. I'm not going to fight you.
But yeah, no, I'm very excited for this movie. I've seen a lot of people predicting this to win Best Picture, which I think if pulled off well, I think it could, because it is the only movie so far out of the Best Picture contenders that is socially relevant.
That's true.
Though I will say something else that's a big Oscar contender that we got news on is Paul Thomas Anderson's new movie. Do you know what the title is? It was announced.
Oh, no, I don't actually.
The actually revealed title is Licorice Pizza.
Oh my God. Of course it is. I gotta say, the movie might be amazing, but those two words being put together, I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Yep. Yeah. Uh, but hey, I mean, Bradley Cooper might get an Oscar, so that's cool.
Mhm.
Oh, Devish Sood, sorry if I mispronounced this. Do you think The Matrix is aged well? I don't think The Matrix is as great as people say it is. I think that it's a perfectly fine to good movie. I should like it a lot more than I do. Um, but I mean, I don't like dislike the movie. I still think it's a good movie. I just don't. And as someone who I went in spoiler free, and as someone who saw this for the first time like a year ago, about 20 years after its original release, I think that it's perfectly fine, but I don't think it's like a masterpiece or anything.
I mean, I think part of it is watching something so long after it's made, only
Yeah.
because, like, back then, like, that was kind of pretty groundbreaking stuff. It would be
Oh, sure.
like, okay, Gone with the Wind, problematic though some of the things in it are, it was just groundbreaking cinema.
Right.
Same thing even with, like, the storytelling of Citizen Kane. Like, people watch it now, and they may not have that, like, knock your socks off, holy crap feeling, and
Did for me, but
there's nothing wrong with that. So I think maybe it would have hit you differently, if
yeah.
you were watching it back in the day while you were a wee unfertilized egg.
And that's absolutely true. I mean, I think that's the case for a lot of movies. And like I don't dislike like I said, I love Citizen Kane. I think that Citizen Kane is a perfect movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So like I don't know, and I think it really does just depend, but I think it all has to do with context and understanding the movie's place in
Yeah.
film history. Um but yeah, Don't Look Up trailer looks good. Christopher Nolan announced a new movie about Robert Oppenheimer and the atom bomb. And this movie seems like it's. I think that this movie is going to be like The Prestige. I'm just going to
I'm
throw it
hoping
out.
it's a return to form for him. I really do.
Yeah, because like Tenet is Dunkirk was pretty decent. Interstellar was Dark Knight Rises was Like that's what three of his last four movies are just I mean, we think of him as a great director, but what great films has he done? Inception,
Well, the sad thing is he can do
like
great films.
Memento.
They just are not all great all the way through. Like Interstellar
Right.
is a masterpiece until you
Yeah.
get to the Tesseract part, and then it just falls
Agreed.
apart.
Agreed. It's a great movie, and then it takes a left turn off a cliff. Like
Mhm.
yeah. But I'm really excited for this. I'm excited that he's diving into something historical. I
He's also just a fascinating historical figure.
Yeah, agreed. I think that this movie is gonna be great. Okay, who would you cast to play Robert Oppenheimer?
Well, I mean, I guess part of it would depend on, are they gonna do this, like, following him through various important periods of his life where there could be a young actor and then a older actor for, like, the wartime accomplishments? Or is it just gonna be one person and it's just focusing on that small period of time? Because that'd make a difference, I think. Did you have anyone in mind?
I okay. I don't think that this is a good answer, but I want to see Benedict Cumberbatch do it.
Interesting.
Um, like I don't think Cumberbatch has ever been in a Nolan film, so I also just want to see that. But I don't know. I feel like he could pull it off. Um, I Adrian Brody could be interesting.
Could be.
I've seen that
Hmm.
name also thrown around quite a bit. But yeah, it would be interesting. Oh, okay. I've been looking through ideas that other people have had,
Oh, okay.
and I think I found one. Robert Pattinson. He's already worked with
That could
Nolan.
that could be
I,
interesting.
I think I think Pattinson's my choice. I'm going to steal it from a random person online.
That's
I
fair.
like it. I like it. Cause yeah, I mean he's already been in Tenet. I mean, he already has relations with Nolan after the Batman. Like he's going to be big stuff.
Well,
Um,
especially because, I mean, hopefully the movie will be written and structured such that, because I mean, I always talk about this, how, and Oppenheimer's usually a name I use to mention, but like science is a beautiful, amazing field to work in, and scientific discovery can be uh, earth-shatteringly important, but it can also shatter the earth because what you create isn't always used for the way you created it, depending on who the person is. But I could see that being a very meaty part, and I'd love to see him get an Oscar nomination for that.
yeah. Um, I saw something interesting on Reddit. They were pairing like people of like major franchises early in their career and asking who would get an Oscar first. Like for instance, they were saying like Emma Watson or Daniel Radcliffe who would get an Oscar first.
Ah,
But one that they did was Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, um, which is interesting because like Kristen Stewart, if she wins for she has a good shot to win for Spencer. She has a really good chance to win for Spencer. If she doesn't, I think it'll probably be Pattinson.
I mean, if Spencer weren't coming out, I would 100% guarantee it was going to be Pattinson, only because like I think Stewart is she has the ability to do a very good job acting, but she hasn't had as many roles that have given her the option to really take people there into like awards territory. And Pattinson has just been in fabulous performance after fabulous performance, even in these like small movies that sadly have been mostly overlooked, but the
Yeah.
performances themselves can hold up to the Oscar standard. So if Spencer weren't coming out, I would 100% with no hesitation have said Pattinson. But oh my gosh, I mean, can we just skip ahead to Spencer? I know it was the last one on your list, but oh my god, I cannot wait
Yes.
for that movie. I cannot
So
wait
is
for it. I'm so obsessed with royals, like in a healthy way, but and of course everything about her being so tragic. But yeah, really, really,
for
really
all these
like it.
trailers that I sent you, was that the first time you watched all those trailers?
No,
Okay, cool. I'm glad.
only come on, come on,
Okay,
and Mass. Those were the only two that I hadn't.
cool. Okay. Yeah, so I will say, before we move on, Christopher Nolan, this is something that I just seen, not really related, but he wants to make I think this is the thing. This might be completely false, but he wants to make a movie about Howard Hughes starring Jim Carrey.
Why would that happen when we already have The Aviator, which is just like
I
perfect?
don't know, but that's a thing. Yeah, we can talk about Spencer though, because
Okay.
what I will say though, its first major awards thing at Venice, it went awardless, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Makes me even more curious now too.
so because its Metacritic came out at a 95, it's since dropped to an 83.
Mm.
But people, so it's from oh, I'm gonna mispronounce the name. There's three directors that names start with P that all have big movies at Venice. Pablo Larraín, because then there's also Pedro Almodovar, and then Paolo Sorrentino with The Hand of God, Pedro Almodovar with Parallel Mothers. So they get confusing. But Pablo Larraín, right? Jackie was very
Mm-hmm.
divisive. I will say he made a Brazilian film in 2018 called Emma, which is also very good. Color palette in that is gorgeous. But I want Spencer just off the trailer to get like picture nomination in like actress and like costumes, because I believe it's like the costume designer has already won 2 Oscars. I can't remember her name or the movies, but I know she's a 2-time Oscar. The cinematography looks great. The production
Yeah.
design looks great. Everything about this movie looks great. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is just a repeat of Jackie, where it gets score,
Yeah.
actress, and costumes, and loses all of them.
Yeah.
But this trailer looks great.
Yeah. I'm just so incredibly curious. Cannot wait.
Yeah. Something interesting with the score. So Johnny Greenwood might get triple nominated this year because he is doing the
Oh,
scores for The Power of the Dog, Spencer, and Licorice Pizza.
wow.
I think he could get triple nominated, which has never happened before in the score category, to my knowledge,
That would be interesting.
or in like any category. Has anybody ever been triple nominated?
Triple, I don't think so. I mean, obviously, double nominations have happened before, but
Yeah, but like that'd be insane. Um, more trailers. Let's talk about The Power of the Dog. Another Johnny Greenwood score. What do you think of this trailer?
I I'm confused and fascinated at the same time.
So, have you heard of the book at all?
Oh no, I didn't know there was a book.
So yeah, so it is based on a book, and it's first of all, I'm confused why Benedict Cumberbatch is whistling the Jurassic Park theme, but that's beside the point. Um, so it's basically just about two brothers who like get in a duel after one of them gets married, and then like he doesn't want the Benedict
Oh,
Cumberbatch doesn't want the other one to get married, and like it's a whole
okay.
thing.
I
Um,
noticed there was so much leather in that trailer.
it looks very tense. I hope that Kirsten Dunst will finally get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad because she's had some really, really great performances. I guess sometimes the movies themselves not being like darlings maybe has affected that, but yeah, she's actually so much better than people give her credit for.
Absolutely, absolutely. I will say so. I want to answer Devish Sood's question. He said I was close enough with the pronunciation, so I'm just going to stick with it. So he said Jackie had Emma Stone to compete with. Does anything this year compare? Only I've heard of is The Last Duel for Jodie Comer. So I would say major contenders this year in Best Actress, because Best Actress is actually really stacked. So there's Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers, who just beat um, Kristen Stewart at Venice, winning the Volpe Cup for Best Actress. Olivia Colman's probably going to make a run this year with The Lost Daughter, which is Maggie Gyllenhaal's directorial debut, which that I believe just won the Screenplay Award at Venice Film Festival.
Ooh.
So people were saying that like Maggie Gyllenhaal looks like a seasoned director with this movie.
Oh wow. Good for her.
Like she's really, really good. So Jessie Buckley's also in the cast as well. It's about this woman at multiple stages of her life. So Jessie Buckley plays like a young version, and Olivia Colman plays older version. So Olivia Colman's a strong contender in Best Actress. I mean, other major contenders, you're going to have Lady Gaga in House of Gucci,
Yep.
who looks good. Frances McDormand in The Tragedy of Macbeth looks really strong. Paired up with Denzel Washington, Joel Cohen directing Black and White, A24.
So
Ingredients for
someone is
Success.
going to get you in the back of a van because of that movie.
Yeah, probably. Jessica Chastain, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Now, The Eyes of Tammy Faye had like a lot of Oscar hype. I think it's kind of died down to just actors and makeup and hair.
Yeah.
She looks good. As like Respect, I've heard wasn't great. I still need to see it. But Jennifer Hudson's supposed to be really, really good in it. I think that she's a contender. So Best Actress is very, very strong this year. I could see Rachel Zegler making a run for West Side Story as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also Kate Blanchett to keep an eye on in Nightmare Alley. So Garth, Don Cheadle for Space Jam: A New Legacy. How about no?
Oh, come on. You don't think he did some just A+ caliber
He's going up
performances?
for the Razzie this year.
Oh,
Uh,
he's going to win the Razzie this year, I think.
what other trailers are there? Mass. Let's talk about Mass. This
You
movie
first.
would have this movie would have won at Sundance if Coda didn't come out.
Oh, man. I just love Coda so much.
I love Coda too. But no, Mass looks really good. This ensemble cast, like this is a major contender for SAG Ensemble. I mean, you have
Oh,
Ann Dowd,
yeah.
Martha Plimpton, Jason Isaacs, and Reed Birney. They're all amazing.
Well, and I
From
just
everything
love
that I've
even
heard.
the trailer shows so little, but it showed me everything I need to know that I really need to see it.
Absolutely. I mean, screenplay looks phenomenal. Um, I don't know if this movie will get into Best Picture just because it seems like it's like lacking technical stuff unless it has like great editing. But yeah, like I'm so excited for this movie. Uh, like just the cast alone. I just can't wait to see their interactions. I hope that talking about these trailers bring more eyes to these movies. Because
Absolutely.
Oscar stuff is cool. If you haven't heard by my enthusiasm, I do a weekly show on my channel. More plugs. Um, but yeah, Oscar stuff is cool. What are your thoughts on Mass anymore?
Um, just in like I said, I was just so drawn in by like the 3 sentences or something that get
Yeah,
exchanged in that sit down. Like, man, like, and talk about a mic drop moment when it's like the reason is because
yeah,
you're blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I don't, even though I know
yeah,
it's not even a spoiler because the movie isn't out. I want people to watch that trailer on their own. But and also Jason Isaacs, just I love seeing him in things, all the things.
yeah, for sure. Ken says he saw the trailer for the card counter. It looks good, but I'm a poker player, so that might be why. It came out yesterday. I'm going to try and make plans to see it sometime this week. It got pretty good reactions out of Venice, like high 80s, mid 80s, I think. So yeah, excited for that one. Okay, Belfast is
Oh
the
my
new
gosh, it
Jojo
looks so
Rabbit.
gorgeous. It looks so beautiful.
Like, I'm so happy that Kenneth Branagh is gonna get a Best Picture nominated movie again, and that he's
I hope
probably
so.
going to get Best Director. Like, I'm so excited for this. It's a tale about like his childhood. The kid's gonna win a lot of awards. It's gonna be a battle between the kid in this and the kid in Come On, Come On for all of the Youth Performer Awards. Like last year, we had Helena Zengel versus Alan Kim in Minari versus News of the World. This year, it's the battle of Come On, Come On versus um, Belfast. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this trailer?
I mean, I love everything that KB does, whether it's in front of the camera or behind. Uh, Again, it looks beautiful, and there's just like such an earnestness that you can feel in that trailer. I really want to see it. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
Plus, I
I
know
mean,
Dan's mom especially will. I expect she'll want to see it. So that's
yeah,
exciting too, because maybe we could, all things being equal in the world, if it's safe, we can all go see it together. I hope.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Judy Dench looks amazing. She's getting supporting actress.
Oh yeah.
This seems like such a heartwarming. Again, it's the Jojo Rabbit of this year, but no Hitler. It looks so good. Also, I saw something really interesting. If Kenneth Branagh gets an original screenplay nomination for this, he'll
Mhm.
become the third person ever to get an Oscar nomination in 6 different categories.
Oh my gosh, I want that for him now so bad.
Because he has picture,
Mhm.
I believe. Or no, he doesn't have picture. He has director, he has actor, he has supporting actor, he has adapted screenplay, and he has live action short film because he produced a live action short film nominee. So the only other people to do that are Alfonso Cuarón and George Clooney. Um,
Little
so it'll
tight
be
little club. I'm sure they could squeeze him in.
yeah. But yeah, I'm so hyped for Belfast. Um, all right, I think we have one more, which is Come On, Come On. Uh, what do you think of this?
I gotta be honest, it was a very long trailer that gave me absolutely no indication of what the movie's about. But I'm not like angry at it. I'm just more curious now because I'm like, okay, you said a lot of stuff in there and you showed me some stuff, but I have no idea what this movie is.
Yeah. Um, Joaquin Phoenix looks so good. After seeing the trailer, he jumped into my best actor predictions. New and improved Jojo Rabbit, no Hitler free. But yeah, so people who have seen this movie at different festivals, I believe it was at Telluride, have said that the kid in this is as good, if not better, than Joaquin Phoenix, and that this is the
That's
best
a
child
bold statement.
that this is the best child actor performance since Jacob Tremblay in Room.
Wow. Okay, that's thrilling.
So I'm so excited about this. The basic plot is just it's a radio journalist who embarks on a cross-country bonding trip with his young nephew after like his brother dies. So basically just Manchester by the Sea, but with like a little kid instead of a teenager. And it's like a road trip movie instead of like all in one place. It's Mike Mills, who's 20th Century Woman, is a great film, which I believe he worked on with Noah Baumbach, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds great.
And this movie seems to have a very Noah Baumbach flair. Like Noah Baumbach isn't involved; he's one of my favorite screenwriters. And this feels kind of reminiscent of his dialogue. Like it feels very like real and down to earth, which gets me excited. Because Noah Baumbach might be my favorite screenwriter. So
Ooh. I mean, I could see that actually, based on all the times we've talked. If I had to put a pin in it, that's actually perfect.
but yeah, I think that this movie is going to be great. Also, it's A24, and I love A24.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I might be a little bit of an A24 fan.
I have a joke, but I'll tell you when we're not live on the internet.
Okay. No, we should have Sabrina on again and just talk A24.
Yes. Oh, that'd be great.
Sabrina, if you're listening. But that's the news. It sounded like I was being very aggressive to Sabrina. Also, I believe she just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Sabrina.
Oh, happy birthday! I didn't know. I've been really really withdrawn lately. Through the healing, so I feel so bad. I think I missed like 2 other of my friends' birthdays just kind of being asleep. So I figure I'll just make it up to him next year.
Hey, that's completely fair. You have a reason. If you were just
Well,
like
I know
sleeping for no
somebody else
reason.
that I know has a birthday coming up like really soon.
Yeah, 10 days. 10 days and I'll be 16.
And it'll be sweet.
Maybe. Might be a bit salty. I'm not sure. But it's Robert Montano's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
But that's the news. We hit our hour and a half mark.
We did. Honestly, I think that it's weird to me still that we're actually being able to look forward to movies with a fairly high degree of certainty that they'll actually come out, which is so weird after 18 months of conditioning to be like, there aren't movies. Movies don't exist anymore.
Yeah. I'm hopefully gonna see Eyes of Tammy Faye on my birthday.
Oh, cool.
I'm so hyped for that movie. I mean that kind of weekend-ish space. I mean, there's also Cry Macho, and then everybody's talking about Jamie that are coming out. Which, by the way, Richard E. Grant is going to be a sleeper Oscar contender for supporting actor, and everybody's talking about Jamie. He's going to get critic nominations. Might build up some hype. Calling it now. Anyways, I believe you were ending the show.
Yes, I was going to say that, I think we might kind of wrap it up, everybody, but I can't wait to see everyone back next week. We are definitely doing a show next week. I don't know exactly what we're going to be talking about, but it will involve things like movies or possibly television, because I also might try to leverage Trevor to watch an episode or 2 of Ted Lasso, because I know if I make him start it, he'll finish it. So.
I really want. I don't know why I haven't started yet. Like, I'm confused within my own head of why I haven't started yet. I'll attempt. I'll attempt to watch it.
Just watch like 2 episodes. If you watch 2 episodes, then we'll call that your homework. So you have 2 Bond movies and 2 episodes of TV, and I have 3 Kissing Booth movies.
That's technically just like 100 movies, if we're being honest. For you, like it's gonna be not fun.
Well, you know what? We definitely have to incorporate some not fun things into our show because if it's all fun, it's like eating candy for every meal of the day. We don't want to give our audience diabetes. And I broke Trevor.
Just wasn't expecting that. Sorry.
That's okay. Oh, Dan is on the other side of the frosted glass, but he also says that he thanked us for having him. So
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we're around. We lurk on the internet. Please check out Trevor's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You know what? I should make sure that when I can put it in the description of the video for the YouTube when it after the live part's done, so that way people can know an easy way to find you. Is there anything else you wanna plug?
I'm on Letterboxd where you can see everything that I watch, which is occasionally a lot and occasionally a little. But I watch movies, lots of them. I'm nearing on my goal of 365 movies in a year. So
Yay!
then after that, I might try and just go for 400. What am I at right now? I am at.
I don't know.
I have to be really close. I'm at 317. So
You're definitely gonna make it. I mean, we're only on the second week of September.
yeah, definitely make it. Oh yeah, Garth. Yeah, Garth says I do 1-minute reviews. Yeah, I do 1-minute movie reviews. That's a thing.
Which is great, people. Go see them because they only take a minute.
Yeah, you don't have to commit time to them. Because why would you want to do that? Commit time to longer things that people worked harder on? Working hard. I have school.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. People like Dan that work all the time. Pfft, what do they know? Only like succeeding at stuff and, professionally developing themselves. That's like all you get out of hard work is like,
who cares about that?
prestige and acclaim.
Like,
who needs
I
it?
just have like, stuff that I'll just type it up, then throw it out there. Like, it doesn't take that much work and I can like do it and it's cool. So watch it. I'm sure I've sold this.
Well, and hopefully my sarcasm talking about how Dan does such a good job and works really hard was understood by everyone because he does.
He works very hard.
He does. Well, I guess it's time for me to click the button on the thing.
I guess so. Let's click the button on the thing.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.